everyone. Welcome. We are here for Ashley's Heart Song. This is the place where you get out of the stress and back to your body, your life, your business. This is when we come from the song of our heart. What is your heart singing? What is the mantra day in and day out? What is your heart calling you to do in your life? With our special guest today, Ashley Lascor, we are going to be speaking to this rhythm, this beat. When you hear Ashley speak and when you hear our conversation, you're going to understand what I am saying, because this girl, she comes from her heart. She is all present, all there, and 100% inspired by a power greater than herself. So if you will help me welcome Ashley Lascor. I did not read like your bio, but she owns Silver Linings, y'all. And this is a beautiful company that I'm going to have her share on that, and several other little nuances to Ashley that I want to be sure that you know about before I bring her up to the stage point. She is a daughter of the King, a wife and a mother. Those are her most important roles. Family is a huge part of who she is and her why. Ashley's inspiration is from her grandmother, her nanny. She woke up every day hoping to continue the legacy that her grandmother set before her, to follow Jesus in every way, raising her family, taking care of those around her, doing it all with grace and a little more love and a whole lot of laughter, which when you meet Ashley, you will know what I mean. She is a lot of laughter. She is an entrepreneur and so grateful for that. She's proud of her business, where it is headed, and believes it is such a blessing, and that she loves to do what she does every single day. She's active in her community. She believes in the power of neighborhood and networking. She is proud to be a part of the Alzheimer's Association, Dementia Friendly Denton County, Kiwanis International, and the Sanger Chamber of Commerce. And she has started her own networking group as well. She's a leader for Moms in Prayer over her children's school, and those are just a few of her favorite things. When I saw that written down, it reminded me of that wonderful Sound of Music. These are a few of my favorite things.
Yeah, I love it. I sing it.
Isn't it one of your favorite movies? Yes. Well, Ashley, to get started, I would love to know more about you and Nanny's place in your life, and where that inspiration to start your own business came from.
Oh, okay. So
A loaded question.
Nanny's a sore subject, and I'll try really hard not to get teary-eyed, but she truly was just my person. I'm raised by my dad, and she is my dad's mom. So she played a huge role in just that female influence in my life. And she's the one that I can always remember that took us to church and fed us and took care of all the things. And so it was her part of my story is really when I decided to go into home care and jump in and open my own business. At that very same time, my grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so it really just became hand in hand as I was building my business. I was also on the side of the family and being the caregiver. My dad and my uncles, they put me in as the manager. That's what they called me. And they made a great team. They didn't know what to do or where to turn. And so they said, Ashley, you figure it out. Number one, I was in the industry, so I had all the connections, but I was also the female caregiver role, and the one that my nanny and I just had a really special bond. So when it came to the personal side of accepting a diagnosis and walking down that journey, I became her constant, which was really incredible because as a young girl being raised by my dad, she was my constant. So it was incredible. It was an incredible blessing to play that role. And it truly helped me mold my business plans into um, something unique and a way that I can truly give back to the struggles that we found. Um, that's what I get to do now every day. And so it's so much, it's just like such a blessing. And I feel like I can help families in a different way because I've been there, maybe not their exact circumstances, but the feelings that come with everything that goes into the difficult part of my business.
So was your business Silver Linings already established and this happened to your grandmother and then it tweaked your business, or this is what launched your business? So to speak.
It didn't. I was already in the industry. The timing just was very parallel.
Mhm.
I had started the process of Silver Lining, the very basic parts, establishing the LLC, figuring out what I was going to have to do to apply for the license and just all the foundational parts. And then we found out my nanny had Alzheimer's, and it just shifted the game completely. She was my first client, and I don't know if I often say this, so I think I probably said this at Win-Win, but she also was the first one to fire us. So it was, she truly helped me in those very imperative years when I had to make the choice of how I was going to be. Was I going to be a franchise and kind of bound to certain certain levels, or was I just going to jump out and decide to do it on my own? And so that's what I did. And she gave me a lot of encouragement along the way. And then, now she's left a legacy, and it's really incredible that, I get to kind of come up behind her and continue on caring for people, because that's what she loved to do. And so, yeah, it's a whole lot of fun.
How beautiful, Ashley. What a beautiful legacy.
Oh,
Yeah.
so much.
And you get to live it. You're living it day,
Yeah.
day out.
Like,
Wow.
pinch me. Yeah.
The inspiration behind that, the drive, right? It's just like a driver for you to hop in that car every day
Absolutely.
and keep going forward. Wow.
Absolutely. And on the hard days, I remember the things that she said. Like, she always, one of her famous quotes, well, there's two that I will share. The first one is, God is so slow to be right on time. So, in those moments when I'm like, I can't, like, are we doing this? Is this ever gonna enlighten? It's like, yes, the load will be lightened in God's time, and it'll be perfect. And we'll be like, oh, thank you, Jesus. You're always right on time.
Right.
So that gets me through so many. And then the others are, she always told us that, you could have your pity party, get upset, have your feelings, get down on the ground, kick and scream, do what you need to do. But get up and dust yourself off, and then you don't go back there. And so just kind of learning the balance of that and being able to find that grace in those moments. And she was such a big part of my life that's where I can still stem from those things, so, and pass them along.
Such wisdom. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
God is so slow to be on time.
I love it. I love it. One of my favorites. I say it all the time. I'm like, all right, come on, Ashley. We can do this. We can wait on them.
Wow. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So silver linings is can you just kind of describe what silver linings is real quick for the audience?
Yeah, it's just we are a home care agency and we go in homes to the mostly elderly, but really anybody that needs that extra hand for activities of daily living. So, whatever their normal routine is, or whatever part of that day that is becoming challenging, we come in and we provide the assistance for that. So, that may just be companionship, um, safety checking, those types of scenarios, but we also help with transfers and bathing and hygiene, cooking, cleaning. I mean, you name it, if you do it in a day, we'll come help you with it. So, and that's the fun part of the job. We get to get very unique, and every person is different. So every case is different. So every day is different. And so it's a whole lot of fun.
That is neat. So are you
Yeah.
regional, or do you have this set up to where in other areas? How does it work?
It's Denton County mostly and surrounding areas. I love the small towns. So I capture all the Sanger, Pilot Point, Valley View, all the Justin, all of them, I just love them. And then my license is for the Metroplex. So if we get a referral, Dallas, Fort Worth area, we can still take that on. It just sometimes depends on the timing and how really the urgency of how quickly the scheduling needs to happen, because we are often hiring for specific cases. And if we have time to allow to do that, we can. If they need an immediate start and we can't take that, that's the power of the network and the neighborhood and knowing other people that can, quickly grab them and take them on. So
Yeah.
it takes all of us to keep everybody where they need to be.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you just spoke to that power of networking and power of the neighborhood. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you are a networking queen, I think. I mean, you just really know how to do it.
It's so much fun.
So what
It's
is
so
it
much
you
fun.
love about it?
It's people. I'm a talker. I
Uh-huh.
mean, go figure if you haven't noticed by now. I don't. And I love talking to people. And so, and small business can be very lonely. Especially my small business, because all of my employees are in someone else's home somewhere else, so it's not like we have this little shop where we're in together every day seeing each other. We sometimes go months without actually seeing each other. And so and the cross, it's just crazy. So anytime I can be in a room with other people, I'm all about it. And one of so I worked for Visiting Angels before one part of my story. And I was just going to go in there and clean up some files. That's really all that I was hired to do. My boss at the time, her name was Shanika. She was incredible. She taught me so much about what I do every day. She's truly a mentor in my life. And she just came in the office one day and said, "Do you want to go networking? You want to do some marketing?" I said, "What is that? Like what?" And so she sent me to a breakfast, and she said, "You'll have to stand up and you'll say these things and it'll be fine." And that's really, truly how I started my marketing career. And I look at it that way. I don't put pressure on it. We're all people. Sometimes I walk into a room and I'm terrified and I let imposter syndrome and all the other things that we talked about get in the way. But really, uh, most days I just walk in there and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go hang out with some other people. And it makes work not feel like work. It's fun. You normally get fed, and any time that they feed you, I think is a plus. And there's normally coffee, which is truly a way to my heart. So I'm like, let's do this. And maybe you'll do some business along the way. So I love it. I love it.
It's awesome. So how many hours a week do you go to networking events to talk with people? So there's a lot of other small business owners here
Oh,
who need to help get their
so
work.
much.
Do you?
I mean, truly, when I look at my schedule, I would say that between a quarter and half of my schedule is networking in some form of fashion, whether it's a group or a follow-up meeting, um, anything and everything I can be a part of, I normally say yes to, which is something I've had to learn the hard way, to set boundaries and such. You can't take on the whole entire world. It's
Mhm.
just not, it just doesn't work out. So, but yeah, I mean, if I can manage it, then by all means I'm there, and it's fun. It's fun to me.
Awesome. I love that. Yes, I can see where it is just such a fit for you. Your personality type just probably just loves it. And like you said, as small business owners, we are by ourselves the majority of the time. So it's so important
Yes.
to get that nourishment from others. I get now.
Absolutely. Right, right. And I just want to remind the others that are out there is I do love it. And today I'm having a great day and I'm like, woohoo, go out and network. But again, I talked about the hard days. It doesn't come easy. And no matter how many times you do it, there are days when you go to walk in that door and you skim the room and you're like looking for a seat and you're sweating and you just think, oh, well, I'll duck out. No, go in. And how I've overcome that is I make sure that before I leave, I meet 3 new people, no matter what, even if it's a quick hi, hello, I'm Ashley, what's your name? Doesn't even have to be a full on conversation, but I've met 3 new people, then I can leave. And if you ever see me at a networking group in my car beforehand, talking to myself, that's probably what I'm saying. Like, hey, Ashley, you're going to do this. You're going to go in, you're going to meet 3 people, then you can go home.
I love this. I love it. You are so real. Because
Oh,
that's
I
what
don't
we
know
do,
how
isn't
else
it?
to be. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we spend time in that car and it is talking ourselves up. I can walk in that
Yes,
car, my
for
head
sure.
is high. Yep,
Yeah,
I'm worthy of
you
being
can do
here.
it.
Mhm.
Right. Yes. I love it.
So let's talk about you being a small business owner and also balancing life and family, because you love, love, love your family. High priority for you to be there as a mom and as a wife.
Very much.
So how do you balance that? Because operating a business like Silver Lining Solutions, I would imagine it's from sun up to sundown and probably beyond that.
Yes. And I would say a lot of hard lessons in learning to set boundaries. And God has a way of humbling you for sure. And so just I've listened to him over the years drive it home that I am a wife first, and then I'm a mother, and then my business comes. And that's truly the way that my boundaries are set. In the first few years of building a business, of course, there had to be some grace. There's sacrifice in building something like that. And God bless my family for, oh goodness, even my kids, they learned that my phone was constantly in my face.
Mhm.
Um, it was insane for a little while, but learning not to stay focused in that, and I had to let go and let some people help, which was hard, and I had to learn to grow a team. And then when you hire a team, you also have to trust them and delegate tasks to them. That's a big thing for somebody that's held on to everything for so long. So there was a lot of that, a lot of just release and learning that no, they can do it. And that gave me the time with my family. And then the more time that I had with my family, I mean, it's contagious. You just want more and more. And I learned to say, no, I will not be there because I'm going to go to the soccer game. Or sometimes you don't even have to explain yourself. No, I can't make it to that. During the school year, my Moms in Prayer group is so important to me. That takes almost half of my Monday. I've had to say no to a lot of commitments that could have prospered my business, but trusting that God, if I do things God's way, then He will bless it. And if I miss an opportunity because I was being obedient to Him, then what He'll provide in return of that obedience is far more than I can fathom. So truly just surrendering that to God and asking Him to help me keep my priorities in line. Again, I'm not perfect. I screw up all the time. I've got a wonderful husband that knows how to gracefully say, like, hey, you're gonna take a step back. And he's a small business owner too. So, sometimes I have to do the same thing for him. My daughter's 13, so she'll call us out. I mean, just for the fun of it, at this point. So, and then my son too, just kind of remembering that they are growing so fast. And the other biggest point is learning that this business is a blessing that God gave me. And I, in that, have some power to be flexible. And so I can make it to the important stuff. But then on the business side, sometimes I have to say to my kids, hey, listen, I've made it to everything I can do, but it's just not feasible today to make it to this. Today, silver lining has to be the priority over, whatever it may be. So just, it's a balance. It's such a balance. And you can't do it without a whole lot of prayer. There's a lot of prayer that goes into it. Oh, Lord, help me through this day. Yeah.
Yeah. And also communication. I notice it's very open communication, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
So this month on Ashley's Heart Song, we're talking about simplifying your life. And something that you just mentioned a second ago about how trusting, right? That if I do as I am supposed to do, intended to do, created to do, right? To serve in this way, that by doing that and being obedient to it, then it's going to come back around. What the opportunity that was missed is going to just come in again the way that it's supposed to. It's just the right timing, right? It's that trust factor. Yeah. And I think part of simplifying our life is really about that space right there. It's about not gripping for every opportunity, but really just, okay, let's open the door and what's flowing in today. Let me honor today, honor the opportunities of today, where I'm supposed to be according to the song of my heart. If I'm to be peace and I go to God for that nourishment of peace, and then I'm supposed to send it out to the world, then I need to honor that in my day and be peace, show up as peace, get nourished by that so I can nourish others. And then if an opportunity comes in and that would squeeze and choke the life out of it, then, oh, wait a minute. That didn't provide peace like I thought it would. So I need to let it go. Like you said, surrender it. Yes. And then that opportunity, when it's the right time, is going to just whoop, come right in the door again. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. Yes.
Yeah. So that I think would probably be the biggest key to people simplifying their life. Is, sure, we want to clean out closets. We want to clean out, all the junk on our desks so our mind is clear with clarity. However, if we just operated our life with that trust and that faith, that just surrender.
Yeah.
Simplification.
Surrender. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. How fun. I love that. So you have a favorite hymn. And when I was asking on the application questions, one of the things that I asked you was, what was something you could share, a story you could share that would really inspire the audience and give them something to take away. And you mentioned a hymn, and this is one of my favorite hymns too. I just love this.
Love it.
Yeah. This is my song. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that. You said the most important thing you could do was show up for your story. The story that you
I'm really learning that as I get older. We all have a story. God, and one of my favorite things is that God uses, like, just ordinary people throughout all throughout the Bible. That's what you read about, these just ordinary people with problems, and God has to work on them and long suffering to get them to where they go, and he's got great plans for them, and they do these great and mighty things for him. And but they're just ordinary people. And I think often we can, and especially I think as women, just going through, I'm almost 40, I'll be 40 in November. And so, I've gone through just so many things in my 20s and my 30s. And as a woman, we so often just want to downgrade, and maybe not as a woman, maybe this is just my personal story. I've spent a lot of time downgrading a lot of the things that I've gone through. And not that I'm saying I need to make a big deal out and be whiny, or but I've overcome some really incredible things in my life, and I'm in a really cool spot in my life. And there's this healthy balance between being humble and having a sense of respectful pride, not a worldly pride, but a sense of pride in, hey, I've done this, God's helped me through this, and look at where I've been, and look at the things I've done. I do not have a college degree. I really did not have a plan to even go into business. It stemmed out of a discussion over a football game. I just jumped, and here I am 7 years later. And some days I wake up and I think, golly, how in the world did I get here? And one of my most difficult times in life was trying to have babies. BJ and I struggled a lot. We had 3 miscarriages, and years. I'm an older sister. I watched all of my younger sisters have babies before me. Lots of just trauma that's in that. And I've spent a lot of time just holding that in instead of really sharing it, but it's molded me into I was raised in church. I had a relationship with Jesus, but when you have to have faith and you have to rely on him, and there's no one else that can help you, that's where this beautiful relationship comes. And all of those little things along the way are part of my story. And while I was struggling to have babies, I go to a very small church. My uncle is my pastor. He's an old-fashioned pastor. I love him so much. We sing the old hymns. We don't sing the new songs. We have an old hymn book. We sing them. And that song in that time was just a lifeline for me, that it is my story. And I have this blessed hope, this blessed assurance that he would provide everything that I need. And so as I've grown, I do want to write a book. That's one of my kind of goals in life, to share my story, because there's someone out there that's struggling, or maybe not struggling, but just holding back some of the things that they could be receiving if they would just embrace their story. We try to just cover up so many things, and it's like, share your story. God's been telling me that so much. And so when you asked me that question, I was like, I don't know. That's the first thing that popped in my mind, was that song. I'm like, how do I dwindle it down? So.
And how beautiful what you just shared. The words that you just spoke just a moment ago about people, so many people are trying to hide part of their story and just, show this best part or whatever. But it's like, no, the full story is what makes beautiful you. Share the full story, all the crud, all the hoopla, all the nut puddle, all the,
Yes.
share it all.
And be genuine in this world where we are so focused on social media and the perfect picture and the likes and the this and the shares, that it's so overwhelming. And so just to be real enough with yourself, if that's the only place that you have is just controlling your story, I think there's so much power in that.
Oh, yeah. That's empowerment.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Wow, Ashley.
You got me crying over here, which
love-
isn't hard to do. I'm always a crybaby. I
No.
can't help it. Like, Lord, help me.
Yeah, our heart just leaks,
Yes.
Our heart leaks sometimes. And especially when our story has been so, we've had to experience a story that was terrifying at some places.
Right.
And you found your way through it. It's not about really, I got to get out of this. It's about, oh, no, let's find our way through it. So we get to the other side and we're stronger, we're more empowered, we're more confident, but we also are just so connected and embraced,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. What a beautiful story. Yeah, I love those old hymns. I do.
Oh, me too. Oh, me too.
Yeah. And I so love our church that we go to right now. We're going to a cowboy church, and there are some great hymns. They will come out with some old hymns and then cowboy hymns. And I mean, it's just goes all over the place, right? So it's really cool.
Yes.
I was raised Church of Christ, and there are just, it's the old hymn book, right? So when I'm out of my walk in the morning, I will sometimes break out with How Great Thou Art, or
Oh, yeah.
song, or
yes.
praise. But I had not
Uh-huh.
been busting out with my story. This is my song. So I think I'm going to have to add that one.
Yes, do it.
Yeah.
Alan Jackson has a really good version of it, believe it or not. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Hey, I will have to listen to that. Wow, how beautiful. Nearer, Still Nearer is one that somebody from the audience just put up. Yeah, that's a beautiful one too. And what about the deer that comes to the water? What is that called? What's that song?
We sing just the as the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. Yes. Oh, that's one of my very favorites. So old. And I can remember my uncle's been my pastor my whole life almost, and he stepped into the ministry right after I was born, and so we've always gone to his church, and he's had some larger churches and some smaller churches, but that as the deer, I remember that as a very, very small child, just singing that. My nanny, we would always sit next to my nanny in the pew, and we'd normally be, drawing or something different, but hearing those hymns, that just brings back sweet, precious memories. Oh, love it.
Precious memories. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And the first one, the first song on our hymn book was the doxology. And now I can't even remember the humming of the words of the doxology, but I remember that word, and I was always curious about it, doxology. And then this beautiful song followed it. I just never thought the word fit the song because I didn't understand doxology, I guess.
Right. Love it.
Me too. Oh, you made my heart sing. Thank you for bringing in.
We all will be today. Yeah.
Right. Well, Ashley, is there anything else that you wanted to share that we hadn't talked about?
I don't really, not really. One of the things that I do remember writing down is my little motto that I live by, and that's dream big, pig. So I love pigs. I collect them, have since, I don't know, elementary school, I think. And my daughter, when she was growing up, there was I think it's Christy Yamaguchi, the ice skater. She has a book of a pig that wants to be this famous ballerina, I think is what she ends up wanting to be. And throughout the whole book, the ballerina's name is Poppy, I think. I don't even remember. But one of her friends' name is Emma, and that's my daughter's name is Emma. So Emma always thought that was a big deal. We bought that book when Emma had first kind of learned how to spell her name and read it. And so we would read it all the time so that she could point out her name. But in there, Poppy's like trying out all of these things that she wants to be, and they don't work out. And then she ends up being something fantastic, whatever she needs to be. But they all would say, dream big, pig. That was like the catch line as you would flip the page. And I have held on to that since then. I love it so much. And that's really how I live my life. I dream it. Sometimes I don't have a clear vision. I jump in and you figure it out along the way. I don't know. And if you fail, you learn a lesson. I am learning to go to God and, maybe clear it from Him first before you jump right in. That would save you a little bit of trouble. But just,
Yeah.
I think what I really want to share with people is that don't hold back. Don't think that you have to wait until Monday, or I can't do this because of that, or anything. You can do it.
Yeah.
If I can do it, you can do it. So, and if you need a reminder, give me your number. I can't promise to answer all of the texts, but I will at least send reminders that say you can do it. I promise. I'll encourage.
That's right. Dream big, pig. That is so cute.
I love it. I'll probably make Emma read that book tonight.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I think we might do that. It's been a little while. I'm rusty. I don't remember what all happened. It's been a while.
Yeah, the books that we read to our children are very special.
Oh,
So
so
special.
much.
Yeah. Ashley, thank you for being my guest on today's Ashley's Heart Song. I'm just so grateful for you, and to have doing life with you. It's just so fun. You bring laughter.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It really was my pleasure and so exciting. I've been so excited about this since you invited me on here. So it's been my honor. And yeah, I am truly grateful God reconnected us because, and meeting all of these lovely ladies. And it's really cool. It's really cool. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And don't go anywhere. We are about to break away and have some live audience time. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Ashley's Heart Song. We will be back next Monday, 3 p.m. Central Time. And you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ashley's Heart Song, where you can catch up on past episodes. You can also watch me on the winwinwomen.tv network as well. All right. Much love and a big hug. We will see you next time.